Good morning, hello, yes, and welcome to yet another amazing episode of Redstone Lapis Lazuli. Hello, hi, good morning. Hey, it is excellent morning. Man, I slept really good. I finally got a good night's sleep. It was great. It took a whole week to rearrange my sleep schedule and get myself back onto a thing, because at first, I stay up really late and then I don't want to wake up in the morning and then I feel terrible. And then I start waking up on time, but then I don't want to go to bed on time because it doesn't feel right. And eventually it just kind of sinks and gets into sync again, and then it's good. Then it's okay. And I got a really good night's sleep. And I was warm. I mean, that's the thing, right? To get a good night's sleep, you need a lot of things to go right. You need to be warm, but not too warm, because then you sweat. The cat can't be sitting on my head. I got to make sure I fend off the cat and claim my space. I gotta make sure the bladder's empty, and oh man, a bunch of things have to go right. And and that I don't have an asthma attack in the middle of the night, and that snot doesn't drip down the back of my throat into my air hole, so I can't breathe. Yeah, a lot of things have to be right to sleep well, and I did it. I slept well. And then I don't know if I showed you this. I get things mixed up. I play so much, but I have beautified my entrance, my surroundings. I've added lanterns to the water to stop the drowned from spawning, because they're really annoying, and it made it not safe, right? This is a safe place. I want my house, my land to be safe. That's why I put torches everywhere. I put light everywhere, because I don't want any monsters to spawn. And where do monsters spawn? Monsters spawn in the darkness. So so I made a little path. I moved the animals off to the left. I kind of cut that in half a bit. And I have the crossroads finally. And then I also beautified the train line that goes to chez Chantilly. And I changed the way that the skeleton spawner line works. Instead of going that crazy mountain path, I have it go another direction now. It's a more direct route. It's less scenic, but it's a lot better for your stomach. Let me show you. Skeleton grinder. Yeah, so this is kind of neat. I dig the pillars. Looks nice. So this is the new route. I mean, it's quick and dirty. I didn't make it pretty yet. I haven't worked on it totally. I mean, I can basically working on it would mean to make it bigger and make it prettier. I don't know. Make it bigger and prettier. But that takes time. Everything in Minecraft is all about how much time do you want to sink in? That's the funny thing. There's resources in Minecraft that you can't see. Sure, you got your cobblestone, and you got your redstone, you got your lapis lazuli, you got your buckets of lava, you got your iron ore and your diamonds, but none of that matters unless you put it together. And that takes time and energy, labor. And that comes only from one place, the person, the human. So sure, I can have unlimited stuff, but if I don't have the labor and time to put it together, it doesn't matter. So yeah, there's a component of time involved. So if you can perform things while using less time, it's better. So this is the skeleton spawner. I mean, everyone knows how these work, right? That's a skeleton spawner in there. And while you're in the region of this area, nearby, it's going to spawn skeletons. But I've created an enclosure so that the skeletons who are spawned are captured immediately. Oh, look at that. All you guys are captured immediately. and they're funneled into this chamber here. This is tinted glass, so they cannot see through. And then when they're in here, I just got to turn on the lever, and then they are converted from skeletons. Oh. They converted from skeletons into their constituent pieces, the bones, the arrows, you know, the things like that. And that is processed up here. The bones put into this place, the arrows put into here, the bows into there until they're full, and then the rest are deleted. So yeah, it's super nice. It's a way of obtaining bone meal without expending undue amounts of time and energy to reduce labor. But why would I need all that bone meal? What purpose would all those bones I have for all those bones? Why do I need all these bones? Well, let me show you why. I have been on a mad building spree. It's been weird. It's been weird. Yeah, it's been weird. I can tell you about it later, but the first I don't want to get too crazy because then I start losing my place. But let me show you what I was working on, and then I can transition into it. But yeah, why do I need all this bone meal? Well, what is the uses of bone meal? Bone meal is used to grow things, basically to produce life. So, I noticed that Chauncey was real short on wood, and I too am real short on wood because I use a lot of hoppers, and hoppers require boxes, and boxes require an absurd amount of wood. I wouldn't say an absurd, but a lot of wood to make a box. To that end, I decided to make a tree farm. Let me sleep. Because that way we can obtain wood without having to chop down the forests. Because even though it'd be easy to replace the forests in Minecraft, it's still not fun. So here it is. Here it is. The tree farm in all of its glory. And it is magnificent. Let me tell you, I cannot get over like the engineering marvel that is the tree farm. This design is by Silent Whisperer. I followed his tutorial by the second, and you have to follow it by the second because every single block, redstone piece, and repeater on 4 ticks or however many ticks and buttons, every single one is necessary. If you miss one, you're going to be in big trouble, mister. For example, this one right here. If you don't clip this one right here, that piece right there, if you don't clip that piece right there, this redstone line here and this redstone line here will connect. And this redstone line here is live. When you make it and you build this following Silent Whisperer's instructions, this wire will be live as you build it. So if you like forget to stop here and place this brick here, and instead you place the live wire here, it will fire off this redstone wall of pistons and wreck your machine. And you will have to come in here and rebuild it. You don't want to come in here and rebuild it. I am telling you, this thing was no fun to build. Like it took a lot of concentration and attention to detail. I had to maintain concentration and attention for like hours. It took me hours to build this. Not only was it following the tutorial, but I had to prepare the space. I had to measure the space. I had to gather the materials, bring the materials from there to here, and make sure that no monsters would come and kill me as I was building this machine. And then I had to build the machine. It took like all day Saturday and some day of Friday to build this. But what is this magnificent machine? Let me show you how this works. It is incredible. It's incredible. I see it work and I'm like, man, that's just like, it's just incredible. Do I have any azalea? Yeah, I have 13. So, oh, wait a minute here. First, let me empty out some stuff here. Let me prepare myself. I'm not prepared. First, you have to get the bone meal, right? It doesn't work without the bone meal. Okay, now I'm running out of space. But here, you put, that's what this thing is here. That one, you put in the bone meal. Bop, 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 bop. Just fill that puppy up. And you need to fill it up because it uses a lot of bone meal. I mean, you're making trees. And moreover, this thing works AFK. I can make trees without even being here. And that right there is the key. In Minecraft, it's not really automatic until it's AFK automatic, where you don't even have to be there and it works. That is the gold standard for automation in Minecraft. Sure, I can make a crop farm, but if I have to manually harvest it, then it's not really automatic, is it? Like, this isn't truly automatic because you still have to manually harvest the wood, but I'm not gonna use a TNT duper. I don't believe in duping. I mean, I did it before, early on in my Minecraft career. Like I got paid or something. But I did it for rails, and I did it because there was no iron. There was no iron farm for bedrock. So I had to literally dig up all the iron I wanted to make for rails, and I wasn't going to do it. So I duped rails. But that was it, and I felt bad for doing it. And once I figured out iron farms, then I didn't need to do it anymore. Okay, so yeah, here's how this works. I got, I don't have an azalea. Let me go down here is where all the extra drops come. Because it makes, on automatic mode, it makes a bunch of extra stuff. So basically, you turn this on. This is automatic mode. If I just hang out here, just AFK, do nothing, the moss block gets automatically done until an azalea pops out, and then it gets bone mealed, and then moved off to be harvested. Isn't that cool? Now, where's it going? Where's it going? It's going over here. When a tree pops out, it moves over to this area. Where it's pushed over to there, pushed over to here, and pushed over into this line. Where it's gonna go all the way across until it gets to there. Then it pushes it out, and it'll make a new one. Oh! Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Watch. Ah! I don't have to do anything. I can just stand here. Ah! This is amazing. Ah! And I see, it's nice because I can back up a little bit. I don't have to hear all the machines running, and it still works. It still works, right? Still works. Still works. Yeah, there it goes. Oh, here, let's stop it. Now, let's put it on manual mode. This is manual mode. Okay, so the bone meal dispenser, it's shooting out bone meal, but bone meal won't come out, and it can keep firing, but it's not going to waste the bone meal. It won't use it unless there's something to use it on. Let me grab one. This thing doesn't exactly pick up all the stuff perfectly, but that's okay, right? It doesn't need to be perfect. So this is manual mode. I can manually place whatever tree I want here. Well, I can, do it this way. And it's quicker, right? Because I can fire it off instantly. But then it's manual. I have to like manually do it. And then, so you see, it went all the way to the edge. And when it got here, all these pistons pushed it out to make the next row. So this thing is great. I just got to sit here. Like, I don't have to chop down trees. I don't have to go look for trees to chop down in the forest, wreck nature, the beautiful thing that nature made, because I can't make natural trees like that, but I can do this tree farm. And just harvest these trees over and over and over again with this wonderful machine. Look at, like, what a like, I don't know. To me, it's just an engineering marvel. Like, when I played Minecraft, when I first started playing Minecraft, I played with, I made dirt houses. I made a dirt house. See? Oh! Yeah, when I first started playing Minecraft, I made a dirt house. I had no idea how to do any of this stuff. And now I made a machine that automatically grows trees and prepares them for harvesting. Automatically. And then all the extra drops go down here. So I can always have extra azaleas. Extra azaleas! Okay. So yeah, it's great. It's great. This is a great machine. Automatic mode. Not automatic mode. Okay. This is automatic mode. Or not, or manual mode. Okay, gotta remember. So yeah, this machine's great. I'm just I can't get over how great this machine is. It took me hours to make it. Don't get me wrong. Hours to make this thing. But now I don't have to worry about, like, harvesting wood. It's super easy. I mean, this is kind of fun. Just because it's, like, ridiculous to look at. And if I don't want to manually do it, I can just put it on automatic mode. I just like hearing all those pistons shoot off, and they're all working. They're not just randomly. They're not randomly firing off. They're doing work when they fire off. Here, one more would do it. It's gonna pop out one more. Oh! Okay, turn this off. Okay. Well, oh god, this thing is great. This wonderful machine. Okay, you can't really see it right now. Let me turn off all the pretty colors. So there's what it looks like without the pretty colors. Trees grow in here. When they grow, they get the pistons, push them, break the leaves, push the logs over to these sticky pistons, which grab them and position them to be put over here where I can harvest them. I need to make a platform here because yeah, this isn't so practical to harvest from down here. But once I make a platform, I mean, this is like, I literally just made this last night. I finished it last night. Like, I'm tired. No, I was tired, okay? It took me a long time to build this. It took me hours to build this. Because it wasn't just the building of it. It was also like the scouting out of what area I wanted to build it in, summoning the energy to watch all the videos to figure out which one I wanted to do, watching the video, watching those key moments that remember to cut the line over here. And yeah, ow. It took a long time to build this, so it's good, it's good. But now it is done, it is done. I have to make a platform now, or like not a platform, but maybe a platform. Why do you have to go down there, right? Why can't I just stay up on this level to harvest the wood? I need to be up there anyways. I should make like a wood platform though, not like a stone or anything, to preserve the grass down there. It's almost the same level. I think I have to go one more. No, same level. 66. 67. No, one more. I have to go up one more. Okay, I can make the wood platform go up one more. The wood thing up here to go here, and then wood around here. Ta-da! Perfect. Perfect. And then I have to make a path this way. And here's a train station. All right, yeah. See, so it's working out. It's working out bit by bit. That's what I like about Minecraft, is that you can work on things bit by bit. You don't have to do everything all at once. I mean, in survival, some things take priority over other things. Okay. Like, no matter what, you got to watch out for your food. You got to watch out for your health, your hearts, and your hunger. So you got to watch out for your security and your well-being. But after that, everything else is like, take it at your own pace. You can set your own priorities. Some people prioritize coal over I don't know, iron. I don't know, or over copper. Who knows? Everyone has their own priorities, and because everyone's situation is unique, is different. Not, I wouldn't say unique, but everyone's situation is different. Therefore, they're best able to make the decisions to prioritize their path. That's why freedom is so good. That's why freedom is so great, because there's no such thing as a one size fits all for everyone. You can't do it. You cannot do it in life. You can't do it. You need freedom. People need freedom in order to make their own decisions in aspects, because their life requires certain things. That's just the way they are. Everyone has their own idiosyncratic things. That's fine. That's not a bad thing. But if you try to impose a top-down, one-size-fits-all way of living, it's not going to work, because it's gonna fit poorly on a large group of people, and either they adapt to it fitting poorly to them, and then therefore their performance is hampered, or they ignore the top down and start creating their own their own subcultures, which is better for them, but is hampered because they're not permitted under a top down regime. So freedom, in a lot of ways, the more freedom is generally better, is what I'm saying. So you look at a country like Russia, they have the exact opposite. It is top down. It is top down. Everything comes from Putin. Everything. A person tried to stand in the public square in Russia to say something, and they went out there and they held a sign, a piece of paper, and on the piece of paper was written nothing. There was nothing on it. There was nothing on it. The police came and took that person away, and arrested that person for violating the authority of Putin, for holding a piece of paper with nothing on it. Yeah, when you don't have freedom, when everything is arbitrary, so here, I don't know if a lot of people got to hear it because it was only on the internet. But I think this message from Arnold Schwarzenegger is so good, and it's like 9 minutes. So like, I want to play it for you, but like it's 9 minutes long. You might get bored. So, and it's not even my stuff; it's someone else's stuff, and it's 9 minutes. So maybe not, right? Maybe not. Maybe I won't play Arnold Schwarzenegger. But instead, I will talk about his message. In his video, he talks about that's why I have to watch it again. But he talks about how the Russian people need to rise up against Putin, and how yeah, about the importance of having freedom. And that message, it was such a good message. It resonated. It resonated with me and a lot of other people, a lot of other Americans, and a lot of people said, "Wow, that's a good message." Well, what does it mean? But then again, if you listen to the Republicans, they didn't like it. They did not like his message. So I want to talk about the very real phenomenon known as resonance. Do you know what resonance is? Resonance describes the phenomenon of increased amplitude that occurs when the frequency of a periodically applied force, or a Fourier component of it, is equal or close to a natural frequency of the system on which it acts. What? Ah! So say it again. Okay. Small periodic forces that are okay. So hold on. When an oscillating force is applied at a resonance frequency of a dynamic system, the system will oscillate at a higher amplitude than when the same force is applied at other non-resonant frequencies. So here, let's look at that in the picture over here. So, okay, you have a system. This is the system right now. And this system has a natural place, a natural frequency on the system on which it acts. So this is the system, and naturally the system acts at this point. Naturally, you know that machine that I was working on, that this machine over here. I have to get over there. I'm gonna break the wall. Okay, this machine here, at certain intervals, at certain points in time, it will act and go boom and push out a piston at certain points in time. Okay, and what does that do? The block moves, whatever block moves one block when that force is applied. But in our system, there's another block, and it too happens to push at a certain time that matches the other piston's time. And when those two pistons fire at the same time, they fire at a natural frequency, so that their power is, so that it's resonant, and that their little bit of power is amplified. They each only push one block, but combined, their resonance pushes that block two places. You get three of them resonating their energy, their push one block power together, and they can take one block and move it three. They can only push one, but they can take a block and move it three with their combined power. By resonating, you take your little power and you apply it at just the right time. You make it way more powerful than if you would just do it whenever. It's it's not always about the power, it's about the timing of the power. So if my second piston fired off over here at this time, the first piston would fire off, push the wood 1 block. And then some other random time, the second piston would fire off. But it will push nothing because it didn't push at the right time. So yeah, it will act. So 2 pistons, both fired off, each are capable of pushing the block 1 block. So they're capable of moving 1 block. But because of their broken timing, they weren't in resonance. They weren't in resonance. So what happened was 1 piston fired off, pushed the block, and the second piston didn't fire off. So by the time the second piston fired off, the piece of wood that it wanted to push wasn't in the right position, and it pushed nothing but air. So you have less power than if you would have timed it together. So what I'm trying to say is there's resonance, frequency, power. But and so by taking a little bit of force and putting it at the right time, you can increase its power. So there's another part of it too, right? Small periodic forces that are near a resonant frequency of the system have the ability to produce large amplitude oscillations in the system due to the storage of vibrational energy. All right. The term resonance originated from the field of acoustics, particularly the sympathetic resonance observed in musical instruments. When one string starts to vibrate and produce a sound, another string that wasn't plucked also starts to vibrate. I plucked this string, and this other string, not even touching, nowhere near, not even touching. But it hears the sound, and it too vibrates. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's physics. It's physics. It's physics. It's physics. So when Arnold Schwarzenegger gave his message of pro-democracy, Americans heard it and go, yeah, that's a great message. That's an awesome message. It went boom. They too felt the message and resonated with that. But when Confederates heard the message from Arnold Schwarzenegger, it didn't resonate. It didn't resonate with them. They didn't like it. It wasn't sympathetic. They don't have sympathetic resonance. It didn't do anything to them. Arnold Schwarzenegger was like, freedom, and the Republicans are like, what? I can't hear you. Resonance. That was one. Okay, another thing I wanted to do was show you. Okay, remember when I was talking about the quantum. Okay, I was telling you how things would look to an alien in the 5th dimension. An alien in the 5th dimension looking at humans who are who experience the world in 3-dimensional slices. To the humans, the world is 3-dimensional. But in the aliens who in the 5th dimension, the world is a quantum cloud. It's a big quantum cloud. And okay, from the humans' frame of reference, the before them is a quantum cloud of probability that hasn't actually collapsed yet. But behind them, the quantum cloud was observed, therefore it collapsed into an actual immutable history that actually happened. and it collapsed. So the past is not a quantum cloud. The past is actual. It actually happened. It actually is collapsed into an actual reality. Only the future is a quantum cloud. The past is collapsed. But to the alien in the fifth dimension, looking at the human in this vat of space-time, it's basically a vat of space-time. Behind the human isn't just a three-dimensional creature. The human is a fourth-dimensional worm. Its birth and its death are connected already from the beginning. I don't know how, but it already is. And the human, it's a cloud. It's a quantum cloud. All possibilities exist in this cloud. And I guess the aliens in the fifth dimension can observe the quantum cloud without collapsing it. I don't know. So they can look at it without it collapsing because they see it as an object. Whereas the human is going through it, like literally in it, and they observe it, so it's collapsing around them. But only to them, only to their frame of reference. To the aliens, all these possibilities are still possible. The human just traces one thread through this quantum cloud. That's it. Just one thread. Just one thread. They only experience one thread. Doesn't mean all the other threads are gone but for the human, they can only experience one thread because that's the thread that collapses around them. So a picture of that is like this. So this is the moment now. Behind the human, the quantum cloud has collapsed into one thing. But before the human, it's still a quantum cloud of possibilities. But to the alien in the fifth dimension, this whole thing is still a quantum cloud. And that was just your one particular. If you put someone else in there, they'll go through another path through the quantum cloud. You put another person through there, they'll have another path until they weave a thread of light. That millions, trillions, bazillions, unquantifiable numbers of threads flowing through the quantum cloud. Oh, and that idea came from, where did it come from? Who did I steal it from? Oh, did I keep it? Damn it, I didn't keep the original. Sorry, guy who I stole it from. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, there. This guy. Sahil Bloom. That's where I got it from. Okay, another one. Yeah, okay, so we look at Russians who follow Putin and we're like, how can that be? How can that be? How can that be? This is Satan. How could those Russians be so gullible? Right? But look here. We have the same thing going on in the United States. That's why I can look at Vladimir Putin and already know who he is, because he's basically a copy of Donald Trump. They're the same thing. They do the same thing. All this stuff are the same lies that are being told to the Russian people, except the Russians aren't as free as the Americans, so they don't have any other news stations other than, these things to talk to. That's how come people are getting that's the same thing that happened to the Russians in Russia is what's happening to the Republicans here in the United States. They're being fed propaganda and lies through the media, and they're buying it. They're eating it up because I don't know why, because they lost the ability to discern truth. Let me see. Ta-da-da. I have so many random things. Okay, what do we? Okay, so let's go talk about Ukraine and Russia. What does Putin want? What does Putin want? So Putin's demands for a ceasefire with Ukraine are Ukraine to be neutral, no NATO membership, disarmament, denazification, and Zelensky agreeing to negotiations on Donbass with Putin. So okay, so that's what Putin wants. So let's talk about what Ukraine can get. So we can combine. Let's see, where is it at? I just saw it and I lost it. It's up there. So here's what Ukraine wants. So Ukraine wants Russia to demilitarize Russia. Then we're going to denuclearize Russia. Russia has to give up its nuclear weapons, and Russia has to demilitarize, give up its armies. So then Russia also has to decentralize. No more central control from Moscow. We have to break it up so that people have autonomy and they're able to make decisions for themselves. So Ukraine and the West, we demand that Russia become democratized. They create a democratic constitution that are voted on by the people in a free and fair election. I don't know about decommunization. I don't know if that talks about condemnation of the crimes of the communist regime and equating them with crimes of the Nazi regime. Okay, yeah, sure. Stalin murdered a bunch of people. And you can see how Putin wants to use the legacy of the USSR for his own good. So Putin's a bad guy, right? So yeah, got a de-Stalinization of Russia and de-Putinization. So these two demands, we can do both of these at the same time. I think this can work out, right? We can these two things, what Ukraine wants and what Putin wants, can do the same thing, right? We can have a neutral Ukraine that's disarmed with no Nazis, and we can talk about the Donbass. We can talk about Donbass region, sure. But we can also get rid of Russia's armies, their nukes, and get rid of Putin and make Russia a democratic nation. We can do both of these at the same time. I think that's a good position. I think it's a good outcome for Russia to give up its armies, to give up its nukes, and to get rid of Putin, and to become democratic. I think that's a great outcome for Russia, and it's probably the best outcome that could be. So that way Russian soldiers can stop dying. If Russia agrees to get rid of Putin and to stop its and to basically get rid of its armies, because what does Russia use its armies for? It uses its armies to attack its neighbors. So yeah, that's a condition. That's a condition, definitely a condition for Russia surrender. Russia has to get rid of its armies. Russia has to get rid of its armies. Russia has to get rid of its nukes, and it has to get rid of Putin. So and then Russian soldiers will stop dying. Okay? Because if you look at what Russia's doing under Putin, Russia is a barbarian nation. You know, they're not attacking Ukraine to defend themselves. They're attacking Ukraine to ethnically cleanse Ukraine, to kill everyone and everything. They're blowing up schools. They're blowing up hospitals. The Russians, they're not trying to defend themselves. They're literally trying to murder everyone so they can steal the land. So yeah, Russia, when you surrender, you need to get rid of Putin and your military. Okay? That's a condition for your surrender. That's a condition to stop killing your soldiers, is to get rid of your military. So the conditions for Russian surrender: get rid of your military, get rid of your nukes, get rid of Putin, acknowledge the crimes of the communist regime in murdering millions of not only Russians but Ukrainians and Roma and all sorts of other people. I don't even know, right? I don't even know the Roma. I talked crap about the Roma because I didn't know. My only experience with the Roma was like a long time ago, like 25 years ago. So, and I didn't have any context for it. So I apologize for speaking bad about the Roma. But yeah, so I think this is possible. I think this is good. That Russia is going to come out a lot better once they get rid of Stalin and Putin. And when Russia comes into the fold, just think of the inflows of help that can help the Russian people and to develop the nation. I mean, really, I don't know, right? Because we keep doing the same thing to South America, and are we doing it? I don't know. So, yeah, we still have to work out. We still have our own issues to work out, for sure. But a Russian surrender, I think, would be fantastic for Russia, for the Russian people. It would be the best outcome for the Russian people. So the way to get a Russian surrender is to force Putin to out of office, to get him out of power. If you let the oligarchs do it, then they're just going to replace him with another oligarch. And you don't want that, because oligarchs are what leads to the downfall of Russia. That's why it's incumbent upon the Russian people to be the ones to take power when Putin goes out. Because if you let the elites do it, the elites are just going to put in another elite, and you're going to be in the same situation. You need to make sure that you're the one who takes power, and you don't let the oligarchs seize control. It's going to be good, Russia, once you stop attacking Ukraine, because your soldiers don't need to die. You've already done this, right? You've already thrown men into the meat grinder. You've already done it. You don't need to be reminded of why it's a bad thing. You've already done it. Don't do it again. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Just don't do it. It's the old way up. That's the old way, and here's the new way. That's the old way, here's the new way. The old way was hard and arduous and confusing and twisty and uncomfortable. The new way is smooth, it's clear, it's crisp, and it's direct. Oh! Okay, here it is. Don Moynihan is talking about something very important. We are also seeing QAnon language creep into education. Educators are labeled as groomers or predators. This is deliberate. Chris Rufo spells it out in a series of posts and then seeks information from his supporters to let him use the new labels. So Chris Rufo was the guy who invented the anti-critical race theory craze. He's the one who took a graduate level course and said, "Oh, this graduate level law course, let's say that elementary school teachers are teaching this to our kids," and confused the people. He did that on purpose, and he told people that he would do it. And he did it, and it worked really good, because you have all these people show up at school districts shouting about critical race theory and not having any idea what they're talking about. But the Republicans used it to pass laws to stop teachers from teaching history in schools. So it worked out for the Nazis. So here's Christopher Rufo. He's a Nazi. So what he's trying to do is the same thing that he did with critical race theory, but with something else. So you can say here, the Don't Say Gay laws in Florida accelerated the mainstreaming of QAnon grooming frames. Once DeSantis accused opponents of the bill being groomers, conservatives largely chose to double down rather than criticize her, including Fox. So they're basically, Fox News is telling their viewers that schools are sexually grooming elementary students the same way that Fox News told their viewers that liberals were doing critical race theories to elementary school kids. It's the same plan, right? It worked the last time. They're going to do it again now for this stuff, grooming. Like, you have to understand, QAnon people are really, really into pedophilia. They really, really like it. They like to talk about it. I don't know if it's like, they might like it. I don't know, but they like it. They sure like to talk about it a lot. They see it everywhere. So it makes me wonder about them. But yeah, that's the next big push. The next big push is grooming. Look for it. I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore, because, like, I don't know. I figure, like, most people know, and if you don't know, you're not going to hear it anyways. You know, like that whole resonance thing. Like, either my message resonates with you and you're already on board, or it doesn't resonate with you and you're not even going to hear it anyways. Mumbo Jumbo took a month off because he said he was getting overwhelmed by just the stress of having to do better than the last time. And I can understand that. Like, I'm pretty tired. I've been doing the show like nonstop. If I had someone to talk to, it would be easier. But I'm kind of like, just like, I don't know, just repeating myself. Like, I have all this stuff here to tie Donald Trump to Paul Manafort. Like, but does anyone care? Like, does anyone remember? Like, I don't know. Like, we already went through all this with Donald Trump. I mean, the reason why we're going through this is because we had Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the one who weakened Ukraine enough for Vladimir Putin to do this kind of thing. So if it wasn't for Donald Trump, we wouldn't be on the verge of World War III. But, it may not be that bad. If we can get, if the Russian people can depose of Putin and get the army to surrender, to stop killing people, and we can get a democratic Russia out of this, that would be the best outcome at this point. Russia surrendering, demilitarizing, denuclearizing, and becoming democratic. That would be the best for the Russian people. And then we have to plan for a world of what the world would be like with a democratic Russia. That'd be wild. What could we do? Well, we could tackle climate change, because really this is what this is about. We say this is between the West and Russia, oligarchy versus democracy. But really it's about oil versus clean energy. That's really what it's about. The old oil forces don't want to give up their power. And to move to clean energy, they have to give up their power. They don't want to do it. And Putin is just one representative of the oil people. You have Joe Manchin over here, who is also part of the oil people, who don't want to give up his power. And you can see Joe Manchin, he doesn't want to give up his power. He tells you he doesn't want to give up his power. He says, I am not going to vote for anything about energy reform unless it includes hydrocarbons, where he makes his money. If Joe Manchin can't make money, he's not going to support it. So Joe Manchin and Vladimir Putin are on the same team. So are the Republicans. like Greg Abbott of Texas. He is totally on Team Putin. Well, yeah, he's trying to turn Texas into like another fascist fiefdom. Yep. So resonance. See what messages resonate with people. Yeah, that was the other thing. I had to chunk align this build over here. It had to be chunk aligned. I couldn't just build it. I had to make sure that it was built in a particular spot. Otherwise, it would break. Oh, jeez. So yeah, this is chunk aligned. This is like the corner of the chunk right there. And it went out here, but I had to like basically rebuild the wall after I tore it out. Wood. Lots of wood. Oh, this thing is great. Stand over here. I can just hang out here. Although in this mode it's kind of slow. For sure it's slow. And you burn through bone meal. Look how slow it is. Like there it goes. It went. Okay. But yeah. I'm just gonna AFK here. Wild. Like, I just gotta sit here. I don't even have to pay attention. It's just a great machine. It's a great design. Yeah, for some reason it broke one time. I don't know why, but it broke, and then this piston started pushing out that way. I could have broke this whole machine. I caught it just in time. All these trees just hanging out. Don't stand there. I don't know what happens if I'm inside of here when it goes off. Do I get like mangled? Like what happens? That's kind of crazy to be walking in a machine as it's running. Like who knows? Like I could get like just destroyed. Oh, this thing's just so great. I guess I could add extra pistons to break the leaves. If I wanted all of the leaves to break, I could add just add extra pistons. Like right there. That's a few more. Maybe some up here. So I add a couple pistons here, a couple pistons there. You know, I can also upgrade this tree to handle more tree types, but it takes more work, and I'm pretty like tired from building this thing. Let me give me like a week. All right, so yes, it works. It's great. Thank you. What a fantastic machine. Yes, great machine. Okay, guys. Well, there's just a lot going on, and I'm yeah. Yep. Hang in there. Keep hanging on. We're gonna get there. Okay. Until next time, Pogo Kiddo out. Peace. Stop.